So without telling anybody, he just up and quit his job teaching school and jumped into sales. When he did, his brother made fun of him, laughed at him. Bobby said, the way my brother acted when I got into sales, he said that made me so mad, I decided to get rich. Frank Sinatra said one time, the best revenge is massive success.
So if you are a fan of the NBA from the early 90s, you may or may not recognize this player, but if you do recognize him, there's a good % chance that you know him from this picture and this incident. What happened previous to this picture was 2 games before this one. This player, Liston, got into it with Shawn Kemp. Now, if you know anything about Shawn Kemp, besides him being a ferocious dunker, is that his personality is literally the polar opposite of Charles Barkley, if you're familiar with basketball. He is not brash. He is not the type to brag and do demonstrative actions after he did the incredible dunks that he did. But in this case, let's just say that this ordeal ended with the Lister gentleman having a dunk named after him. And so basically what happened next game, he caught the ball in the wing and he celebrated the dunk in a fashion that was very out of fashion for Shawn Kemp. And that's what it looked like. That's the dunk. The point of this video is not to remember who Liston is, because really he is only a footnote in the history that created this moment, one of the best dunks in NBA history. He was the rocket fuel that created Shawn Kemp to become a high performer. As Frank Sinatra says, the best revenge is massive success. The revenge that Shawn Kemp got was he had this incredible dunk in a very important game that made him become a household name. And that rocket fuel also powered Michael B. Jordan. So instead of explaining it myself, I'm going to employ the help of one of the best orators and YouTubers on YouTube.
She was the little light-skinned girl in school that everybody liked. Michael was just a regular boy in school. Word got out that he liked her, and she played him. See, he remembered that for a reason, but because she was so nasty about it, that's what made him remember it to this day.
Shout out to Crimson Cure, or I affectionately like to refer to her as CC, even though her name is Kendra. She's a fantastic YouTuber, and I watch her every morning, and that's my time. And what she spoke to so eloquently is the fact that when Michael B. Jordan was a younger school student, he probably had a crush on her, and she may have been one of the hot girls, as the quote-unquote light skin, light bright, whatever, girls in the school. And this look suggests that there was some torment that came from that, especially seeing the eyes kind of diverting away from, you can tell that there's a history there. And that history most likely helped Michael B. Jordan find the extraordinary success that he's found. The extra days in the gym, the extra acting lessons, whatever it was, there was something that happened that helped Michael B. Jordan become Michael B. Jordan. And she might have had a good part to do with that. So for a lot of guys, you take that disappointment and you pour it into the gym, or you pour it into, making more money or working extra jobs or starting a business. There's another place that a lot of passport bros should consider pouring that energy into if you're lucky enough to get some rocket fuel. If you are a passport bro or an aspiring passport bro, or you are someone who's considering doing something more than just traveling, you're gonna have to deal with the level of proficiency in the language that you have. And these are from the Foreign Service Institute, and basically fluency is considered right smack dab in the middle at level 3. And that means that you can basically function in the country as a foreigner, pretty much. Not survive, but you can function, right? And the issue with the languages, of course, is that when you talk about fluency, fluency is based on the kind of area that you're in. You could be fluent in conversational, not fluent in business. You could be fluent in business and not fluent in legal. And you have all of these areas that you're going to have to shore up if you want to do something bigger, like start a business, deal with something that's going to court, get some legal paperwork so that you can own, land or things of that nature. You're going to have to face the proficiency issue. There are 5 commonly accepted levels of difficulty learning a language moving away from English or starting from English. And so the level 1 languages will be Germanic languages. You see Afrikaans, Danish, Dutch. Those languages you're probably going to be able to pick up faster. And then, of course, you have the Romance languages, similar. So those times for getting from 0 to proficiency, level 3, which is being able to function, is relatively short, because you're going to pick up a lot of patterns and the like, right? And then you have your level 2 languages. German is not quite a Romance language, so it's going to take more time. You see that you're adding an extra 150 hours to get to that base level, right? And then you have your tier 3 languages, which, you see the ones here, which you're not just learning new grammar and the like, but you also have to learn like the cultural norms and how some of those cultural norms change the language. And then you have a whole slew of level 4 languages or tier 4 languages. And so they go all over the place, from Russian Hindi to East European. And then you have the bad boys at the end, the level 5 languages, or tier 5, which are completely different from English. And you're going to need a lot of time. So you can see that's almost 3 times the amount of time you would need for the Romance languages to get proficient in these bad boys, right? And that takes me back to the rocket fuel. When I first came to Japan, one of the first books I bought, as kind of a joke really, was this book called Making Out in Japanese. And here you can see Bill Murray holding it during a promo for one of his movies he did here. And really the book is just kind of phrases that you use if you don't really have a strong investment in Japanese. You just want to get some bare bones basics, and maybe you're dealing with a young lady and you want to kind of communicate with her. So you see, like, you got to look at the bottom, but that's how guys would say it. So I'm sorry I haven't been a good girlfriend, or boyfriend actually. Ii kareshi janakute gomen ne. If you uttered those words, people would know that you are not serious about learning the language, because there's literally not a single Japanese human male in this country that would utter that sentence in that way. They just wouldn't say it that way. Can we start again? Moichido yari naose nai? Or yari naose nai? Wouldn't say that either. So I'm serious about you. Kimi no koto maji honki nanda. Somebody might say that, but even in that situation, they would say something much more direct. It speaks to the fact that someone is just trying to get the terminology without getting the culture and understanding the world in which they're speaking the language in. And so I talk about you are guys needing that rocket fuel, because these are words for the N1 level test. If you're going to take the test that is the highest level test, in case you want to get into Japanese university or that nature, you're going to have to learn boring words: decomposition, real estate, appropriate, adequate, fusa, futo, fukushu, kakets. These are not sexy words. You're not going to get laid using these kind of words in a coffee shop conversation. And that's where the rocket fuel comes in. If you have someone in your past that really did something that motivates you, you can use that energy for those long, boring days when you're going to be sitting down looking at word lists like this. I did it. You use that energy and pour it into those books and into those notes. And in enough time, you can have your revenge by just being successful in the country. And hopefully, if you do it the right way, you'll be someone that not only is being successful, but maybe you'll get to the point where you're not even really upset to the point where you feel you need the revenge. Your revenge is the fact that you have done something that's very daunting. You learn a second, third language, and you're functioning in the country in that language. That is some sweet revenge. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.